Hi everyone, Janie here, and welcome to the 7,000 YouTube subscriber celebration hop from Monica Taylor from Taylor Made Cards for You. She hit 7,000 subscribers at the end of the year, and we are celebrating with some wonderful projects to share and some giveaways as well. So be sure to comment on every video for an entry in our giveaway. The link to the next person is at the top of my description box, and I hope you enjoy the hop. Now, let's get started with my project. I thought the perfect way to help Monica celebrate would be to use something from her tailor-made Cards for You shop. So I'm using a few things from the Mrs. Darcy Bundle Digital Kit and also one little thing from the Passport to Italy kit. And I'm also using some specialty cardstock from Paper Temptress, and I will have links below in the description box to these things. One of the papers that I'm using from Paper Temptress is this white pearl linen. And I can tell you right now that the camera is just not doing it justice, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And I printed these papers on here. They're from the Mrs. Darcy bundle from Tailor Made Cards for You. And they are just stunning printed on this. So elegant and beautiful. Oh, if you could just see this in person. And this is from the Passport to Italy, and that's the only little thing I used from that, but it's really sweet. I love how these printed up on here. This one is actually a journal page, so you can see right there that it's meant to be folded in half, but that is where I'm going to cut it in half and use both of these pieces separately. Just like that. Aren't they absolutely gorgeous? Also from Paper Temptress, I'll be using this beautiful eggplant felt weave cardstock, and it is just a gorgeous deep purple color. As usual, things do not show up on my camera true to color, but it is beautiful, and it has a really beautiful felt weave on it. I love the texture, and I'm not sure how well that's showing up on camera, but I just thought it was beautiful, and I thought that it went perfectly with the papers that I'm using. So I'm going to be making a twist and pop pop-up card, and so what I've done is I've taken that 8.5 by 11 inch piece of eggplant felt weave cardstock, and I cut it in half, and then I took half of that and folded it in half to create my A2 size card with a top fold. And next, I am going to be using this die set from In Love Arts to create the twist and pop mechanism that goes inside. And I'm also going to be using that eggplant felt weave to die cut this. So I'll be right back. Did you see how beautifully these dies cut this cardstock? I only had to put it through one time. And another thing that I love about these dies is that they leave the score lines so that you know where to fold. So all of these are score lines that show up on the cardstock, and I don't know if I can get it where you can see it because the cardstock is so dark, but the score lines are there, and so all I have to do is fold these. And same thing on here. They have the score line in the middle so that I know that, that is where to fold it in half. Just that easy. Okay, and then I'll be gluing those together like so, and you'll see all of that. So let's get started putting this card together. I am so sorry. I was recording folding this, and I must have bumped the mouse and turned the camera off. But I just folded on all of the score lines, and it just folds together just like this. And I do have another video on making this this type of card, and I will have a link to it on the screen as my video is ending. So now that we've got this piece all folded together, I'm going to glue these two pieces together, and I'm just using my Beacon 3-in-1, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue right there, probably more than I need, and a little bit of glue on this piece right here. And I'm going to slide them together
like so. Careful, there we go. So that both of those pieces are in the back and not visible. And then I'm going to wipe off any excess glue that I have on here. And we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to put this mechanism together. Okay, once that was dry, I folded it so it's a mountain fold and valley folds, creating a W. And now we're going to take this piece that looks like a little house or a tent, and with a point pointing away from you, you're going to open it up. So now that point is pointing down. And we are going to put glue in the bottom left and top right. So just put a little bit of glue there, and the little score lines really help you know where to put it. So we've got that there. And now we're going to take our W and we're going to connect it there and there. Okay, so we've got the top connected and we've got the bottom connected, and it looks like this in the middle. So we've got that done. We're going to let that dry, and then we're going to put the mechanism in, and I'll show you how it works.
And while that's drying, I'm going to be decorating the rest of the card, starting off by inking the edges of everything with frayed burlap distress ink, because I really think that aged look goes so perfect with these papers. And as always, I'll be using my Beacon 3-in-1 glue to adhere everything to the card base. I'm going to be honest with you. I am totally in awe of how beautiful the papers are from the Mrs. Darcy bundle, and even more in awe at how gorgeous they look printed out on that white pearl linen cardstock. I honestly wish you could see this in person, because there is no way this video is going to do this justice. And now that the papers are on, I'm going to be adding a few elements, such as the Celebrate die cut that I'm layering, and the wine receipt from the Passport to Italy kit, which I just thought was the perfect addition because I'm going to be adding this wine bottle and wine glass that I cut out with my Cricut using the Summer in Paris cartridge. And for that, I'm using 3D foam squares to pop it up to add some dimension. I love adding dimension. I think it just adds something special to the card. What do you think? And that wasn't enough dimension. I decided to add a cute little bow to the stem of the wine glass. And I am really happy with the way that this looks, but then I decided it needed something else, so I added 3 little lavender pearls in the corner.
I promise I'll have better pictures when I'm done without all the reflections, but now it's time to put the mechanism on the inside. So, you remember we glued this together. I've got a little white mark on each side so that I know that's where I'm going to be gluing, and the reason I do that is it can get confusing once you start playing with it. But you want it so that it still folds like a house like we had it before. So this side folds down, that side folds down, and we have the house shape. And so what we're going to do now is glue this in, and you don't want to glue it right to the fold. You want to glue it just to the side of the fold and get it centered as good as you can. You can measure it or you can eyeball it, and I tend to eyeball things, so I'm going to be using my Beacon. And I'm going to put glue on this side first. Whoops. I don't want to make a mess. We do not want glue in there where that just went. No, 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 no. We do not want that gluing together. Yes, be very careful about that. Okay, so I'm going to pretty much eyeball this. And I am going to call that the center. And you also want it straight. Don't get it, wonky. Okay, so we've got that right there where we want it. Making sure that it is straight. And now we're going to add some glue to this side. You can use double-sided tape, obviously, to do all the things that I'm using glue for. But I just feel that with it being open and closed, that the glue is going to hold a lot better. So I am just going to close that down on top of that, And I'm going to go set something on this to dry for a minute, and then we will finish the inside. Okay, now that the glue is dry and I've opened and closed it several times to get that mechanism used to popping up like that, now it's time to start decorating the inside. And I have already die cut congratulations and put that in there. And now I want to decorate this pop-up part, and I'm going to be doing that with these little banners and the numbers 7,000 to represent the 7,000 subscribers. So let's get started. And here is the finished card, and it opens up like that, and there is the 7,000 for Monica's 7,000 subscribers. And I just love this. This isn't stamped on there, it's printed, but I got those words off from a stamp that I had that wouldn't fit in there. So getting a little creative, but I made it work. And there we go. And as promised, I'll put up a couple of pictures right here at the end.
Congratulations, Monica, on the success of your channel. And everyone, let's keep the celebration going by hopping along to the next person, and you'll find a link to that person at the top of the description box below, as well as links to the products that I used today. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.